How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 25 called Elmcreek. We're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, Welcome to Elmcreek. This is a map from Farming Simulator 22, converted and modernized for Farming Simulator 25. This map includes main farm, 82 fields, several sales stations, biogas plant, shop with workshop, 10 production points, collectibles. You'll see more after downloading the map. There are mods required for this map, and they are the Elmcreek Placeable Pack by Puma145, and there's actually an additional one that isn't listed here on the mod hub, and it's called the Production Points Pack, also by Puma145. This map was created by Puma145 and is 844.76 megabytes to download. If we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. We start out here at the pretty much dead center of the map on our main starting farm. We start out with farmlands number 179 and 80. 1 is our main farm, plus this field down here in the south portion of the farm where it has wheat in it and is harvested. 79 is a wheat field that is ready to harvest, and 80 is a field with no product in it. Field prices on the map do vary, but we do get a wide variety of sizes for this map, starting out with farmland number 46. Actually, let's go, this one here. Farmland number 46 here at 42,000. We got another one right next door at 80,000. Next door to that, 212,000, 216, 226, 313, 510, 305. Got a few kind of speckled up here in the north at 210, 58. Got one even further north, 605. A big one up here, 429, 527. Way down here at 614 and 772. So you get a very good variety of fields. Now there's not a ton of forestry on this map. You do get a little bit up here in the north and kind of tucked away up in the mountains, but really it's not a lot. So you get another one out towards the west here at $1.1 million, and that does include quite a bit of forestry up and around the sawmill. But again, that's kind of like the big amount of forestry on this map. You're not able to purchase all areas of the map. As you can see, the highway that runs through the middle of it, you cannot purchase that. The kind of town area down in the southwest corner of the map cannot purchase, and then out towards the east, you cannot purchase that as well. We do not start with any animal pens. Contracts are available on this map. We do have productions available to us, but none to start out with. And then if we take a look at our collectibles, there are collectibles on this map, 50 of them to be precise. If we take a look at mods specific to this map, we look under the buy menu first. There is no mods and DLCs tabs. There's no mods specific to this map here. And then if we take a look under our build menu, we have absolutely nothing under any of the tabs. Nothing for buildings, productions, animals, decorations, or landscaping. So now that we've done all that, let's go ahead and start taking a look around the farm. But first, let's take a look at our starting equipment. We go under this screen here, we go under vehicles. We start out with a FarmTech EDK 650, the Horse Credo 3, that is a Power Harrow. We got the Horse Versa, which is the rear seater, goes behind the Power Harrow. We got the International Series 200 truck, the John Deere 3650, the John Deere 6R 145, the Noche EcoMax Eco Cultivator 300. We got the Massey Ferguson 8570. We've got the header for the 8570 as well as the header trailer. We got the 10 Winkle Pack 750 weight, another 750 weight, another 750 weight, the Zador Forterra HSX 120. And that is it. So let's go ahead and start taking a look around, seeing what we got here. So right behind me, we have AI Helper Walter. We have our sleep trigger here. Now be very careful, because you come up here trying to get to this and you can see up in the top left-hand corner, it just says start conversation. If you want to be able to utilize this specific sleep trigger, because he's so close, you have to go right up to the door. right up to the door, and you can see sleep does come up, but you've got to be like right on top of it. Sometimes you can kind of hit a butter zone, like you can see here, where I'm kind of hitting it right here, but if you're off just a little bit, then you're not going to hit this trigger just right. Wardrobe trigger is right over here. Over here, we have our main farm silo. And then tucked around the backside over here, we have our water point. So this is like a water buy point area right here. Now, one thing really quick, this map is definitely going to require some updates. One of them, if we come over here, before you could actually come into this and open the door, but number one, I can't open it, but I can walk through it. So that's something to keep an eye out for. You can also come back upstairs. Can't close the doors like you used to. Can't open these doors here, but again, walk right through it. And yeah, definitely gonna require some updates. You can see our trailer is actually kind of pretty much tipping into this little void right here. So just a little, just a little thing. But there are additional issues I have come across up until this point. So again, there's going to be updates. So first things first, we'll head out our main farm. Now, coming up to my left, we have the gas station right there. As we head down the road just a little ways, come here to a stop. We have the bakery. You can buy the bakery for $50,000 and output and input right here. Now we'll shoot down this little side street. And here is where we'll come up to our repair trigger. Right there. And our shop trigger just a little bit in front of us here. Right there. Come back out to this main road, make a left. And now we'll make a right. We'll stop right about here. Here we have the oil mill. Output right there, input right here, and you can purchase it for $80,000. Continuing down the road just a little ways. To my left right there, that is the debris crusher sell point. Next door to that is the grape processing unit. You can purchase this for $80,000. Output here and input right here. Now here we're just going to pull up just a little further and come to a stop right here in front of the tracks. Rent train trigger right there. Over here we have the, I believe this is the grain east silo. Let's see, where are my notes? Where is it? Grain pool east. So you have your train silos, essentially what this is. And you have your input and output right there for the train. And tucked away over here, we have our input and output for your trailer right over here. And then back here, we have a lime station. A little lime buy point right there. Now we're going to turn around and head back to the truck. Head down this little side street, heading towards this secondary farm back here. And right here, this is the supplementary water tank. So again, another water fill point. Up here, we're going to make a right. Head to the end of this street here, and we're going to stop and make a left. And now to my left, this is the carpentry. Again, we have another AI helper. This is Noah, and you have to, again, be very careful. You can see how if I approach, I do have the option to start a conversation. Go walking right up to the door, and the buy point is right there, 60,000 for the carpentry. Input with the wood cell trigger there, and output around the back, right there. Hop back in the truck real fast. Head down the street just a bit. Now coming up here, gonna make a right. Now coming up to my left, by that little shack right there, is another rent train trigger. And to my right, you'll see AI helper David right there. I'm gonna backtrack back to the southern road. All the way back down here. And now over here, we have the Feed Grain South sell point. As we continue to head in this direction, make a right, followed by a near immediate left. And now tucked away back here, right back here, we have the South Valley Biomass Energy Cell Point. Continuing around this curve, we're going to come up to this point right over here. Head down this hill. Directly in front of me is another rent train trigger right there. And directly in front of me, we have another train silo exchange. This is the Grain West silo. So we have an input for the silo there, output for it right there for your trailers, and then on the track is going to be your input and output for your train. Head down the road to this intersection. We're going to make a left. Come up to this intersection here. We're going to start out in this corner. We have this cereal factory. You can purchase this for $240,000. Output here, input here. And then back over here across the street, we have the dairy. You can purchase the dairy for $70,000. Get right up to it, right there, $70,000. And input right here. And output right there. And then down this street, towards the end there, you can kind of make the disc out right in front of that tower there. That is another supplementary water tank. So again, another water buy point. So now we're going to take this road a little ways out and actually going to come up right next door to our main starting farm. You can kind of see the barn there, way off in the distance there. So here we'll make a left. Come around the back side of this building. Squeeze down the alley. And here is a Grocery Mart sell point. Backtrack just a little ways. And then coming up here, we're going to cross over the highway. Once we're over the highway, go over this bridge, where over here we'll go ahead and make another right. And directly in front of me is the animal dealer. Now you can come over here to this location and purchase your animals directly using this icon in front of me, or you can utilize this same icon at any pens and pastures you have listed across the map. If you use this icon though, you will incur an additional fee. That fee is associated to a delivery fee. The animal dealer is taking the animals from this location and delivering them to your pens and pastures wherever they're located throughout the map. Now to kind of give you a little illustration, you can see that your base prices for your animals are things like for your cows, $200 for a baby, $525 for a medium-aged one, and then $1,175 for an adult cow. Now, it doesn't show this here because you don't have a pen listed out base in the base version of this game, but for an adult cow, it's an extra $100 per cow. So that adds up pretty quickly. Depending on how many cows you want to purchase, you can, kind of rack it up pretty quickly. Now, if you want, you can bring a trailer, an animal trailer, to this location, park inside this little hazard mark area here, and then again, using this animal dialog box, this icon here, you'll be able to load directly into the animal trailer. If you do that and load into the trailer, you will save that delivery fee. So, nice little way to kind of save a little bit of money. Now let's go back to our truck over here. Now underneath the awning there is AI Helper Katie. And the animal dealer sell point right there. Heading down the road just a little ways. Over here, we have the sawmill. So over here, you have the purchase point for the sawmill. It is $100,000 to purchase. We have our output right here, our input right over here, and our wood saw trigger right there. Gonna hop back in, get turned around. Now head out to the left. make another left. And then, tucked away back here, we have the Johnson's Farmers Market sell point right in back of here. Follow this around off to this road. And as we continue to follow this road, we're going to come up to our next point of interest. Now coming up here to my left, right over here is the point of interest. This is the grain mill. You can purchase the grain mill for $96,000. Our output is right here. I'm back in the truck, and the input is right over here. And now we have to follow this all the way around the kind of northern portion of the map, this kind of northern road over here. Heading all the way out towards the eastern portion of the northern half of the map. And over here we'll make a right. Now heading down this little side street here, we're going to make a left, and here we're going to pull in to the biogas plant. Now right there you'll see an electrical charging station right there, and here is the biogas plant. Now this is where our kind of secondary issues come in that I was mentioning before. So you can see all this area here is the biogas plant. You've got, your bunker silos, and you've got your obvious solid inputs right here, and so on and so forth. But what you don't see as you kind of look around, well, number one, you get this, again, you get these big kind of gaps like you did at the farm and the farmhouse there. But what you don't have, which in the FS22 version, there was, oh, there's a boundary right there I can't jump through. There was the wrench that was right there. That's not coming up here for you to actually do anything with. But you also see on the mini map down the bottom left hand corner, there's a farmyard right there. So I thought, well, what if I try and purchase this area? So if I zoom in, farmland number 11 says the value is $152,160. But the problem is all I can do is visit and tag the location. I cannot do anything with an actual purchasing of this farmland. So there's nothing here for me to be able to buy the biogas plant. I don't even think you can actually use it as a point of sale because, I mean, maybe you can. Let's see something just real fast. I believe it's this screen here. Scroll down. Let's find silage. That's going to be one that's obviously going to be a sell for a biogas plant. Actually, manure should be too. Okay, biogas plant. So it does recognize that there's a sell point here at a minimum, but there's no way to utilize it as an actual production point. As best as I can tell. Biogas plant, yeah, is right there. Silage, biogas plant. So yeah, it does look like that it may work as a sell point, but I don't think it's going to work for much else until something gets addressed there. Again, as best as I can tell, I am not seeing a wrench anywhere for you to be able to purchase this. I've driven around. I have yet to see kind of anything stand out, and normally at least on the previous version, on the FS22 version, the wrench was right over here at the little box right there. So Unfortunately, I think this is going to be something that is going to have to be addressed in an update. So now we need to backtrack down the road just a little ways. Go up the hill over here. Come up here, make a right, and around the back side of this building here is the Red Marble Bowling Restaurant sell point. Back on this road, we'll head down just a little ways, and we'll take in our last couple of points of interest. Head under the highway in this direction. Now just over this hill, slow down, come to this driveway here. Tucked away back here on the porch is AI helper Ben. And now heading to our last point of interest. Right next door is the spinnery. You can purchase a spinnery up here for $60,000. And our input is here, output is back there. And that's it. That is everything here on Elmcreek. Now it's time to render my opinion, let you know what I think. 0 to 5 scale as per usual. I mean, I was never a huge fan of Elmcreek from the beginning, and unfortunately seeing these kind of big graphical errors really doesn't make the situation much better for me personally. All in all, I think it is a nice looking map. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but it's just something about it never really spoke to me personally. I think there was kind of too many areas where you aren't able to utilize things to its fullest potential, and there's just certain things about it that just really never spoke to me. Now, looking at kind of the key indicators, color palette is nice. It's kind of toned down and mellow, so you're not getting big smatterings of colors all over the map. Undulations on the map is very nice. It does have some good undulations. Towards the south, it's a little bit flatter. Towards the north, it's a bit hillier. That's pretty cool. Now, one thing I did here, and I wanted to test here on camera, if I pull this out, yeah, so you can see the water plane does not react like it should here on FS25. It has that kind of flat old texture that we had in FS22. So yeah, that's kind of a big bummer for me personally. That's one of the big things here on Farming Simulator 25 was that kind of water physics that we have that's not present here. So again, that's something else that just kind of feels like retro to me. And I'm not the kind of person personally who cares for that kind of retro. I want to, in maps that come from previous iterations, I want there to be enough of the map to get that kind of feeling of, wow, I remember that. Wow, I remember that. Yes, okay, that's awesome. I like that. I like that. I like that. But I also want there to be that kind of pulling it into the now kind of thing. There's something that's going to bring it into the current iteration, the current rendition of the game. And I just don't feel like there was anything along those lines that were done. And especially when you see the kind of falling behind of the water physics. That's, you know, that's a good example. But then you take into account the issues with the barn there at the main starting farm, it having that big kind of hole and gap next to the barn itself. That same kind of issue at certain production points that we found. That's again another issue. So there's just going to be those kind of things that are just kind of making this map feel incomplete to me. So all in all, what would I give this map? 0 to 5 scale, I'd probably give it in its current rendition probably around a 2 to 2.5, somewhere in that ballpark. With the updates, probably a solid 2.5 is where I would probably give it. That's just, like I said, this isn't my favorite map. It was nice as a kind of starting map when we first got the game back in FS22, but there's not enough that's changed in this to make me feel like this is an FS25 map. I feel like I just stepped back into FS22, and that might be what we're going for this particular map. But again, those kind of pre-qualifiers I mentioned before about having that kind of, remembrances from the past while still having the, leaps forward in the technology, that I'm just not seeing it here. So that's why I'm grading it kind of a little bit on the low side. But all in all, it does strike up all those I remember this, I remember that. Like everything on this map I vividly remember. And it's a really good rendition of the map. Really good rendition. And I'm sure there's going to be people who are going to have a ton of fun. But there's just certain areas, like this is another thing right here, is this kind of curve right here, how it just kind of eats into the side here. It's just, there's just certain things on this map that just don't feel like they were completed, and kind of have that, like not made it through like the final stages of testing and stuff like that. So it's just, I don't know. And again, this right here, this is supposed to be your input and output for your train. There is no icon right here, but this is where it's supposed to be. So my presumption is that it's going to work if you bring a trailer there. At least I hope it is, because that's going to be the only way you're going to be able to use that one, is if you put into it right there. But other than that, that's it. That is everything here for Elmcreek. I hope that you enjoyed this map tour, and if you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. The show you engage with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.